and there's going to be a huge cake of nice strawberries and cream and whatever, and we're going to forget the shit.
Let's be honest, the set can be a very toxic place. Everyone keep talking that it can be a big family. It can, and certainly should, or, I'd prefer it, but sometimes can be pretty toxic working around people.
I believe in this systemic thinking that if something is not working out, it's not this person's fault. Let's figure out what is not working, what this person needs to give the max of him or herself. The projects I admired the most on set were the ones where the team, we share the same style of communication, which is not putting someone else down, but lifting someone else up.
The industry is very out there. It just is. It's like, me, take me, see me. Hi, here I am. Because we need to be seen to be able to tell the stories that we reach the people.
I really struggled a lot with this, what you were saying, okay, the industry tells you, you have to do this and you have to be visible and connect with people, la la la. I'm like, okay, I need to feel comfortable, and I'm very reactive to energies. I'm an outgoing person on festivals. If I like someone, we can talk and laugh for 5 hours. I think this is very important to find out what is working out for you and then follow your path.
Good morning and welcome to Ambitchiously Intelligent. Today we are joined by Simona Theoharova, and you are directress, actress, producer and founder of a production and sales company. You're working internationally across many genres: fiction, documentary, festival strategy, distribution. It seems like there isn't anything that you're not capable of. And we are very much looking forward to this conversation. Thank you for joining us today and for sparing the time for this talk. And that's exactly my first question. We are very used to multi-hyphenates here in Ambitchiously Intelligent, but at the same time, it seems people always give priority to one thing over the other across the time. But from my understanding, you managed to sustain all of those components across a pretty long time. So the question is, do you think that there was ever a pressure to pick one thing, or it happened organically that you sustain everything? How do you juggle it? How do you keep the balance? Is there a balance? Tell us more, please.
First of all, thank you for having me here. It's really nice to meet the both of you, and also to have this exchange.
Likewise.
So, thank you. There is kind of a balance, but I would say it's not maybe a typical balance, but it's my personal balance because also this, what you said, this need to choose one of the fields you're working in is more a need that comes from outside than from the inside. And times when I cannot relax very well, or a lot of things are going well at the same time, it's a bit too much. So then there's an inner need to say, okay, I need to sort it out, and I need to have some of these things reduced a bit. Otherwise, I won't keep it up on this level that I want it to be, and in the quality I want it to be. But it is organic in the way that, in terms of timing, because in our industry things are not going straightforward from A to B. They're making loops. They're the backlashes, everything happens, rejections, or whatever it is, postponing of projects. So I always need something to fill in these gaps, and actually that's how it happened, that it's a very natural rhythm, that by filling a gap in one project, time-wise, I just do the other thing. So I do the other
smart
project.
That's
Is there a
smart.
carefully planning that you're let's say at the beginning of the month and say, okay, this month I'm dedicating this amount of time? Because I want to know how does this work practically? Walk us through the steps, please.
I always try to, I mean, I've been a freelancer since I graduated. So I have never, like, excluding for my acting jobs in some productions that are hiring you, but I was never attached to some company and working from 8 to 5. So yeah, I had to make my plans on my own. But how I work, and I think this is very crucial to know how your personality is, what your character is like, how you deal with time and structure and organization. So organizing yourself. So how I function is like I wake up in the morning. I know some things I that I have deadlines, for example, and some things that are very urgent. But at the same time, I listen to myself. Okay, what am I up to today and this morning? Where is my energy going? And sometimes I just sit down in front of the laptop and I'm like, oh wow, I need to do this now. I'm in the flow for this, and then I go. And it's done easier when you're in the flow. It's done quicker when you're in the flow. And it's in I know that my body and my brain, my heart, my soul, my spirit, everything is working underneath the whole time. It's working on this thing. And once it's ready to come out, I sit down and put it out. So and to realize that and not to be like externally driven, to have like some schedule and some calendar and some to-dos and a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 1-year plan.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
I was like, I love planning, and I do that, but in the next second I know I can just throw it away because it won't work like this for me. So, I think this is very important to find out what is working out for you, and then follow your kind of your path and your kind of work schedule.
I love this. That's time management, like of a healthy person. I feel because
Yeah.
it seems like I'm getting inspired by a lot of things, and then I sit down and I write this, and the usual thing is I'll never look back at this what I wrote. Like I'm like, okay, what is the flow now? What is the inspiration? And I love how you do things, and it seems to work. So here you go, guys.
Do you tell us your secret? Like, was it always like that, or is this something that you, through the years, have just,
Exactly.
accumulated, or you have practices that have helped you? I mean, this industry, our industry, as you said, is very out there. It just is. It's like me, take me, see me. Hi, here I am. Because we have to be seen to, and a lot of I believe that we're changing people's lives in every way, in every form. And I'm talking about the guy that is, no matter if you are behind or in front of the camera, if you're writing or if you're not writing, it's not even about that. But there's so much in storytelling. It is throughout the centuries saved human beings. So it is it's somehow part of it. Like, well, we need to be seen to be able to tell the stories that we reach the people. How are you able to? You're just so beautifully calm, and you're just so you feel so. I told you this when we met the first time. It's like you feel so grounded, and it's beautiful. So how have you, like, was it always like that? Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always been more a quiet person, an introvert. Sometimes also an extrovert when I'm with my close friends or my family, and some friends that have known me for a longer time suddenly get surprised that I can talk so much and let it bubble and things like that. But I need to feel comfortable, and I'm very reactive to energies. So I'm very reactive to the energy that is in the room, the energies that are like crossing mine, and then I'm kind of adjusting maybe. But I think my baseline is maybe mm, a bit more grounded, and I'd rather listen than talk in the first place. So um, maybe this is what it is, and I really have. I really struggled a lot with this. What you're saying, okay, the industry tells you have to do this, and you have to be visible, and you have to write mail outs, and you have to be there and connect with people, la la la. I'm like, okay, I can go out, and I'm I'm an outgoing person on festivals. If I like someone, we can like talk and laugh for 5 hours, and it feels like 5 minutes. And this is what I love. But for example, in huge parties, I love to just sit in a corner with someone and discuss some philosophical stuff. This is for other people quite boring, but for me it's quite boring to just drink a lot of alcohol. So um, what I mean by that is I think it has always been like kind of this because you have like some, I don't know if it is in English, like predisposition, like you have some traits and states in your character and personality which you bring to the table, and like in your whole life and every time you meet other people, and then you are reacting to the situation and the group that is surrounding you, the social group, and your goals, obviously. Mm. So I think it's a combination of what you bring to the table and how you develop through time and through experience within the industry you're working in. Because in this industry, I also have my, like, it's troubling me when people who are not working in my field of work are telling me what I should do and how I should behave.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, okay, just do your thing and I do my thing. And I love to discuss acting work with fellow actors and actresses. I will, I will maybe listen to casting directors, but to be honest, I don't want to discuss my work with them. I want to discuss it with someone who's living it, who's doing it. And I understand all these workshops and things, and I'm saying something that's not very popular, but um, I understand these things, and it helped me a lot. For example, I worked with Greg Epps. He's a casting director in Australia, but it was not like I was dependent on him to push me forward for some projects because he is based in Australia. I'm based in Europe. We won't ever work together. So he won't ever search for Bulgarian and German actress. So it was kind of a very relaxed collaboration. And it was just about the thing, just about the self tapes, just about honest feedback. No dependencies in there, no hierarchy in there. And this is something that brings me forward, that where I can learn a lot of things. But as soon as you have some very unhealthy hierarchy in there or group of different, also like some directors and producers started doing these workshops, for example, or it's not concerning only us actors, but also writers like script writes or playwrights. Someone is telling them how they should like write and structure their thing, and I'm like, come on, they are the professionals, let them do their job, don't make them even more dependent on you.
Interesting.
I don't know if that was an answer to you.
No, that was beautiful. You know what? That was a beautiful segue to what I want to ask in the next is you studied psychology because you do everything. But that is a beautiful and that is an important, vital part of storytelling. Let's be honest. It is. And that's where I wanted to ask is in what way or like has it changed the way you approach now storytelling and people in general?
People in general, yes. Storytelling, I don't know. I think it changed the way how I direct on set and how I confine my teams and how I set up the tone of the working, the tone of the teamwork that's ahead. Yeah.
How?
How? So for example, we are currently in financing for a project which is a very heavy topic. It's an Iranian biopic. It has to do with detention and torture and human rights, female rights, and it's nothing that cheers you up from from the script itself or the topic itself. So the whole team needs to be in good humor and cheered up on other levels. So you need to kind of balance this. Otherwise, everyone will be depressed halfway through. So what we did, what we are doing is an online catch up every month. So on the first Monday of every month, we are meeting online. We are very diverse group of people. So our DOP is currently in Mexico. Our editor is in Berlin. Some others are like spread all over Europe. So, but and most of them are in Germany. But it's too expensive to meet every time in person. So we're meeting online, and we're like just briefly talking. Okay, how is everybody? Any personal things in there, because you're dealing with people and it's like everybody's lifetime. So why should you just be like, okay, this is just work and let's go do. You know, when someone just had a loss, for example, or a tough day or is sick or whatever, I think there should be a space for this, just to share it, because as soon as you're sharing something, it's not anymore, it's not like a weight you have to carry on your own anymore, but you're sharing this weight, and everyone else in the group can take a bit of this weight away from you, from your shoulders, from your heart, from your head. So this one thing, and then appreciating everything that people do. First, being grateful for everything that's coming from the outside, just saying thank you so much for your support. And second, being really attentive to the work that people on your team are doing. So saying, this was wonderful. Thank you for the text you wrote. This is great. And even if you think there need to be some things like done on this text, don't go with, I don't say don't go with, I don't go with, okay, this is not the text I expected. So give me another one. And we discussed it for half an hour. Why are you like sending me this thing? When I'm stressed, I'm thinking these things. I'm like, come on. Like we spent 2 hours and now you're sending this shit over. But I would never say that. I would be like, hey, great, you sat down, you were working on this. Which parts are good and which parts need to be redone? So, because it's always like people love to grow, to thrive, to learn. You just have to give them an opportunity to do so. And I don't say that I know everything, but I just share some thoughts, and I share them in a way that I say, okay, these are my thoughts. Maybe you have better ideas, better thoughts. I would just consider this and that. And that's why I'm giving this input. So also saying why you are giving this input, and saying where you are coming from. So actually taking everyone by the hand and like walk the talk together. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it seems very considerate also. And from this, I'm curious, how do you direct? Because that's what you're, well, I wanted to say stepping into, but no, you've already directed quite a few. And I think you shared privately with us that it's partially to do like these, let's be honest, the set can be a very toxic place. Everyone keep talking that it can be a big family. It can and certainly should, or I'd prefer it, but sometimes can be pretty toxic working around people. So the question is, how do you approach creating like a safer set? Does those knowledge with psychology helps you, and especially being as you said that like on a quieter kind of spectrum, how does this work with people?
I think once you reach set and it's toxic, it's too late, or you haven't done your work beforehand, because you have to start to set the tone and atmosphere of the teamwork right away. From the very first beginning in communication or team meeting, in the very first team meeting, you have to, especially as a director or producer, you have to set the tone. You have to paint the picture in the colors you want them to be. Because otherwise you will be like, okay, we do this later and now let's work. I know everyone is under stress. Every project is underfinanced. It's like, yeah, huge pressure on everything we're doing. But
Facts.
you're losing, yes, but you're losing more time, more money, more human power when you're not setting the tone and when you have people who are not on board. So be sure you're onboarding right. By right, I mean within your vision, within your goal. So if I don't care about people, if I just care about my stars, okay, then I can do that. If I love toxic sets, let's go for it. You know? Just do it. But yeah, right. But I don't love toxic sets. And I recently was part of a project as an actress where they had like we had some problems in that production, and halfway through they were sending an email. Okay, we have now here this person of trust, kind of. And you can send her an email or call her, and here are the lawyers' email addresses and whatever.
Oh, wow.
So first thing, how can I trust a person I've never met? I just read her name in an email that someone in the hierarchy above me, who's not like acting on eye level, but who's acting like on a whatever, like very high position level, from above communication. So how can I trust her? I have no information what's happening with the information I'm sharing with her, with the concerns I'm having. Will she call the producer afterwards? And tell him, I have an actress here. She has like blah, blah, blah. So that would be like, I wouldn't do that. I would like, yeah, I won't break my own leg. So, and second, like putting the attorneys or lawyers' emails right below her. What are you communicating with this? You are setting, yeah, it's a setup of like frightening people, or even if you have had the best intentions, this is a very stupid way to do it. Sorry to say that, but one information at a time. And if you have good news, make them big. If you have bad news, combine them with something that is still motivating. You can say, okay, listen up, we didn't get this grant here, but this is the plan, how we're going to work it out. I'm not going to my team. I will not go and say, like, now not speaking as an actress again, but as a producer or director, I wouldn't say, oh gosh, we don't have the grant. I don't know what to do. You all have to work without being paid, whatever. No, this is something I have to figure out. I have to figure out with my co-producer or with my producer when I'm the director. We figure it out. And we need to have kind of a solution or a vision for a solution, and then we are communicating all this shit to the team. So it's like, okay, this shit happened, but now we're going to do this and that. In the end, there's going to be a huge cake of nice strawberries and cream and whatever, and we're going to forget this shit. Yeah, you get what I mean? So you have to I think this is the responsibility of your position as a director and producer. Yeah. And at the same time, being clear with people who are, because that also happened to me, people who think, oh, she's going to solve everything for me. She's so great. She's so nice. She's so calm. So I can be like choleric. I can do only 80%. That's enough. Everyone else will catch up with what I haven't done. And in these cases, you have to be clear. You have to bring people back on board with 100%. And maybe this is like the toughest thing, or no, for me, the toughest thing, because I love harmony, is to fire people. Yeah. And in one of my projects, I missed to fire a person I should have fired, because I really believe that people can like not change, but that you can find a way to motivate them, that you can like, because I believe in this systemic thinking, that if something is not working out, it's not this person's fault. Not always, sometimes, but not always. So it's not this person's fault, but something is not working quite well. So let's figure out what is not working, what this person needs to give the max of him or herself, and to be like motivated to the max, to be to feel included in the team, in the project, like this intrinsic motivation. How can we give that one a shoot up, and how can we find an engine for this intrinsic motivation? But sometimes it's not working. Sometimes it's just not the right fit. It's the wrong person for the wrong project. And then you have to see that. You have the responsibility to see that, and to follow this realization. I don't know if this was correct, but yeah.
Yeah, be honest to oneself, right? What you feel
Yeah.
and what you know, that if you've tried everything.
Yeah. And I tend to try too often. Yeah, really. I should stop that, but that's working on myself and my because I'm 39. I should know myself, so, or parts of me at least. I mean, we are changing as well. We are like, let's say, like fluid beings. So tomorrow I might add something to my personality that hasn't been there yesterday, but like the core skeleton is there, and I should know that I have troubles with this. And in my last production with Anke, who was in your podcast as well, Anke Derman, wonderful producer and
wonderful
actress
Mm-hmm.
colleague, yes. And we figured out that she's the one that, like, we figured out which tasks are easy for her and which ones are easy for me. And it fits so well, because the ones I had trouble with, she was like, I don't trouble with this one, so let me take it over. And I was like, yes, perfect. So if there's something you know, okay, I cannot change this, I'm like just to this or that for doing these things that need to be done, then go and search for people who are able to do that, who are capable of, for example, hire or fire people. So yeah, try to find your vehicles. Yeah,
Your magic team, really, team
yeah, your
members where
magic
you support
team.
each other. That is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to dive deep with you or ask you if it's possible, your project, Palestine and Iran, and obviously you were in pre-production, and so not sure how much you can share, but what I want to ask you also is, what draws you towards stories that carry political and emotional weight? And this is a heavy one, as you said.
Mm. So by the time when I was in school, and you have to decide what to do with your life, right? You have to decide what to study, what to work. Everyone expects a plan. So, I was thinking about studying law, because mm, this concept of justice was from the very beginning a very important thing to me. I will not dive deep now what justice means, but I realized that law is not always justice. So I decided to go for philosophy or psychology. In the end, I ended up studying psychology and philosophy, because just as a philosopher, you cannot earn your living. Like, you can be a professor, but you cannot make a living out of it, like, properly. Which is a pity, because I think this world misses philosophy a lot. In Bulgaria, we have the structure then that you're learning philosophy no matter what other subject you're studying. Philosophy goes along, and I think this is so important, because it opens up perspectives, how you can see the world. It opens up horizons. like, okay, is this what I think is the truth or the real world? Is it real, or can I also interpret it in another way and see it from another angle? And this is so precious that I think it would help a lot of people to get out of a feeling of being stuck or insufficient or depressed even. So saying that, um, I think that everyone also has to, within like after opening up these horizons and saying, okay, what is possible? How could the world be? Um, you have to decide whether you want to change something or whether you want to be it as it is, to sustain the status quo. And I don't know why I'm a huge fan of changes for the positive, changes for the good.
Yes.
So I was also, when we had a real, I mean, we still have a real tough time concerning politics in Bulgaria. But some years ago, thinking about going into politics, because I was like, oh, we need to change something. And it's not okay if it goes on like this. But the next day I realized I will die after 2 days because yeah, I will not, I won't be able to bear all this harassment, all these attacks, all everything. As I said, I love harmony. I love love, and like, okay, let's talk as human beings, as like, uh, who had like brains in their head. Sometimes I'm like, go on, how can you lie to me? You're looking to my eyes. How can you lie to me? And the other person is like, yeah, it's just like it fits my plan, and I'm moving forward like this. You know, I know I will win like this. So this is not an environment where my strengths are. So and then I was thinking about, okay, what is art in this world? What can we do as artists? Is it like, is it just like a hobby? Is it fun, or is it something that can have an impact? And I want to have an impact. I want to have an impact on my environment, on the environment, on the people surrounding me, on the world for a better, I hope. So yeah, this was the conclusion, actually, to keep on working in the field I think I can do best, and do my best in this field. And then through this action, have some impact on the world and how things go. And this is why um, I love to tackle topics like sustainability and climate change, human rights, disabilities, things like that. Yeah, social impact, because I think this is my way of doing something. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. You carried me away on like this wave. It's because there are so many. I don't want to dive deep into this, but I can relate to so many things that you mentioned, and the law and the justice and the change, bringing the change, and how is, through the obvious means of the real world, it doesn't work straightforwardly, and then you have to look for those loopholes. But what I want to dive with you is quite a different topic. It's a distribution and a film festival strategy. Let's keep it to the filmmaking world. And for most people, this, and also filmmakers, not only like ordinary people, it seems like very invisible parts of filmmaking. Myself included. Then I first studied and I made my first short with Eva. And then it was, okay, we made it, right? Like the editing process is done. So now it's, fully out into the world. And it's like, oh, wait a second. Like, how does it really, what does it do? Does it reach people? In what way? How does this work? So how did you find that medium, and what kind of like that experience taught you? Maybe it gave you a different perspective into filmmaking, into storytelling. How do you approach it now?
The distribution, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think every every craft has its audience. You just need to find it. And the same, like every person has some power to change something, but you need to find the way you can change it best. And the same applies to movies, in my opinion. So you have a movie and it has its audience because you made it, right? And there are some people who are similar to you. So they should be interested in your work. And maybe even some people who are not similar to you, who are not like interested in the same things, maybe they also like it. So at least you have like two groups that could like it. And so this is like going from the craft itself. See, okay, what can we do with this piece of work? Where can it be? Which channels are most appropriate to build an audience, to get it out there, to get the message out there? Then there's a second pillar, is the filmmakers. So what are your goals with this work? Is your goal, for example, to push yourself forward as an author or a playwright? Or is your goal to support the DOP who was working on it? Is your goal to have like this as an entry card for the next grant? Or to push your actors, actresses? So this is like, what is your goal with this work? It's the second pillar. And the third one is the industry. So we're going like from the other angle, we're analyzing, okay, is this something that tackles topics that are interesting for A or B list festivals? Is this something that is best placed within schools for educational purposes, or in TV, or at smaller gatherings where you can have a Q&A afterwards, or bigger ones where you don't necessarily need to be there because you're a Europe-based filmmaker, but your movie travels very well in South America, for example. You cannot go there every time it's screened, right? But still it can reach some people. So what is best industry wise for this thing? Is it later? Is it, for example, VOD with a streamer? Is it YouTube because you want it to be accessible for everyone without paying, without being behind a paywall? So these are things that we, in first place, we discuss with the filmmakers, and most of them don't even know the answers. So, and they're like, oh, I've never thought about it, what my goal is. And I'm like, yeah, but your system knows. You just have to find it out, because there was you had a vision, you had a reason to do this thing, right? And you have a reason to want it to go out there. If it's just for fun, if it's just like, okay, I just wanted to film one day with my friends, then I'm like, okay, goal achieved. Do we have other goals? Should we like move forward? Or is it okay? Then it's okay. Then watch it with your family and friends, which is perfectly fine. But then this is the core purpose of this craft. But if you're saying, okay, we had fun, but now I see the potential to show it to someone else, then from there we can take it and support. Yeah.
Yeah, that's again a very grounded approach to things.
Yeah, I love your view. I'm so impressed. So what are some mistakes you see emerging filmmakers make when it comes to festival strategy or distribution?
So there's one. I don't know if I would say mistake. I would call it mistake. I would call it missed opportunity. Uh, so often I see filmmakers presenting their films and talking about the films the audience will see in a minute. And I'm like, don't do that. No, don't do that. I don't want to preach. I'm like, you're missing an opportunity to talk about your next project, about your vision, about your personality. Because even if you don't have a next project, go on a meta level. tell them what drives you to be a filmmaker. So even if I'm in the audience and someone repeats the same thing, and before the film I will watch the film, after the film Q&A. So it was the same thing 3 times. So it gets kind of uninteresting, boring. I won't remember a thing of it. But if someone comes on stage and says, okay, what drives me to do movies is I love the horror genre, because in horror you can tackle social impact stuff without putting it into your face, but by saying, okay, I put it in a genre, people loving this genre will watch it, and meanwhile they will learn something about this or that topic. Okay, this is a meta level. It doesn't apply only to this work you're showing now. In the same time, I will watch your movie with different eyes, with a different mindset. And in the end, I will remember, oh, this filmmaker was so interesting. He or she had like a vision, like a signature for his or her craft. Let's check out the next movies he or she is doing. So this is something I would love to hear more when people are present in the cinemas or during screenings.
It feels like you just gave all of us the golden ticket. I'm not kidding you. It really feels like it. It feels like you just gave us this golden ticket. So, guys, woo, you're listening, girls, you're listening or watching. I hope you're watching. This is really a beautiful, beautiful. It's a tactic, but at the same time, like be you. Like don't put it on top of something. Be you.
Yeah.
Be true
Yeah.
to really what you want to do and what you love, and not just
Yeah.
try to say it because Simona said it. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's obviously, but it really is. And every one of us, we are drawn to certain things. As you said, even if we're not aware of it, our soul is drawn. Like I was drawn to Valeria, and I was drawn to the way she writes and directs, and just her intellect is like, I don't know, it's like a positive drug. Just to say it like that.
Sometimes negative. Most of the time.
Very good thing. And then I realized like, oh, these are kind of the roles that I'm also getting like from others. And so as an actress now. So it is true what you're saying. It's that your body knows, even if you haven't maybe intellectually said like or named it. So the questions you also are asking them are gorgeous. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, so thank you, and also for what you just said. It's so great. I love it when people are talking positively about their colleagues and friends, because then first you give them information, and this is very psychology speaking now, right?
Okay.
So psychologically speaking, you give information about the other person, but in a very appreciating way. So you're also giving the information who you are, how you see people, how you appreciate what someone else is doing or how someone else is behaving. And by you talking about Valeria, for example, you have a movie somewhere in screening and it's a Q&A and you talking about her and her talking about you, the audience will immediately love you because they see a team. They see not two people who are going there with their ego and, oh, yeah, I made this movie and la la la, but they kind of have immediately the feeling that they are part of your team. And they want to be in your team because they also want to be like spoken about like yours. Yeah, you speak about Valeria, so you get where I'm going.
Yeah. We want to
So
belong.
yes,
We
you
want
want
to
to belong.
Yes,
Definitely,
definitely.
yes.
Yeah.
And for us, it's so much easier to praise other people, especially for women. It's easier.
Yes.
So when I'm teaching and I have like the first session of my classes, I'm always saying, okay, tell me your name and 3 things you do good or you do best, three qualities you have or something you're proud of. People have to think about it for half an hour, and I'm like, come on.
Oh yeah.
Get used to it, to think about what you're doing good, not just about problems or where you fail. Yeah. Name 3 things you're proud of. And obviously I give them time to think about it. And then I'm saying, okay, and tell me everything else you want to tell me, or you want me to know, or the others to know. And it's so much easier to speak, like, to be fond of someone else and to speak like very positively about someone else. And it's also flattering for the person. And we, especially in the Western societies, we are not that used to praise other people and to tell them, oh, this is really well done, this is great what you're doing. And this is kind of also like going back to how to motivate your team. Don't go on the mistakes and the failures only. Go to what they're doing good, because then their system will learn, oh, this is something that I'm other people see me for, other people like me for, other people praise me for. So I will do more of this because I want to have more of this positive feeling. Right? So all my unconscious system will be like, yeah, cheering, let's go this way. Let's go for the positive one. So, and I think this is also very beautiful in like building a society. Yeah. Because in this, when you're in the theater and you just showed your movie and then you're talking this way, you just talk about Valeria, you're saying this way, you're being a role model at that moment. So other people's systems will be like, maybe not right away, but unconsciously at least. And if they see it like 4 or 5 times, then it becomes conscious. They will be like, what can I say about my neighbor, my friend, my sister, in this kind of positive way? So I think this is also very impactful.
Sorry, we're just listening.
You
We
left
just
us
lost our.
speechless.
That was so
Please,
good.
keep going.
I was just like, go ahead. You're such
I
a
don't know if
beautiful
there is
woman.
time for another question, but if to be asked a quick one, we didn't really cover your acting jobs, and you've done a lot of the beautiful work. What I want to ask you is that you also done work across like international sets and independent sets, and I assume it's very different experience. Which one is your preference, or do you manage to kind of have a good experience with both now, having this grounded perspective and your own approach to things?
I love being on set as an actress or a director. So I, even in toxic productions, which I have had, unfortunately, or which I have experienced as an actress, I try to find some spot that is positive. So I'm a quite optimistic person. So I'm always like there. Okay, where's the hope in here? I'm searching for it really. So in the last production that was toxic, I found a friend. We were a cast for the same role actually. She got it. I got offered another role, and we ended up being on set together. And it's so fun to just call her and be like, did you just read the email they sent? Isn't that like crazy? And then we are laughing together. We're yeah, I think humor is a very, very important thing to survive and to be resilient. Um, and if you can share this with someone, it's great. So, and this brings me to the actual thing I would like to answer. It's the tribe. You have to find your tribe. So the projects the projects I admired the most on set as an actress were the ones where the team was, in these terms, my team. It was my people. In terms of we shared the same values, the same vision, the same style of communication, which is not putting someone else down, but lifting someone else up. And I have like one of my best memories is a Turkish movie I did with the director Ilker Savaşkurt. It was an independent production, no money at all. It was the best set design I've ever seen. I don't know how they did it. And it was so professional. And everyone was having just a great time on set because we were all there not for earning some money. We were there for living this time, having this experience, crafting this work. Everyone was intrinsically motivated. Everyone was a professional. This is also something I admire, people who behave professionally, no matter how much they are being paid or not. Because a reward is not only financial, you can have rewards on many different levels, like visibility or making new friends or learning something new, having new material, whatever it is. The list is like endless, infinite. So, and this was, yeah, one of my favorite memories, actually, being on that set. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that was
This
an
is
answer.
gorgeous. Every answer is so yummy that you're giving that we're just like, and then we like kind of forget and we're like, wait, yeah, we're here. Not forget that we want to listen. We just want to listen to you. This has been amazing and so, it's just like you know, it's good for the heartwarming. Yeah, thank you, Valeria. It's been really, thank you so, so much. You're a very, very special human being and soul. And I love that you're sharing your talent with the world in this way. It's a beautiful thing. And it's very important for the film community all over. And you're a beautiful role model. So thank you so much. This has been a pleasure. And I really hope that I get to work with you one day.
That'd be great. Yes, it
This
would be
is,
nice. It'd be great
yeah,
to work together.
unbelievable. Thank you. This has been an amazing
Thank you.
experience. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you for the platform and for having this conversation. And also, like when you're saying sharing, I really admire what you're doing because I think it is about sharing. It is about getting inspired by other people and learning. It doesn't help anyone, not even yourself, if you're keeping your thoughts for yourself and say, no, I know how to do that right, and I'm the best one. That's bullshit. You will never be the best one if you're not sharing and learning. And you can, this is actually one. I'm talking again. Sorry, but
No.
one last thing.
We love it.
I don't think there is such a thing like one best, like a competition, and there's one person doing it best, but we all together can achieve something better, and which then crafts a movie or a soundtrack or whatever it is that is the best version we could have crafted now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.